Welcome to Kickturn
You're
Party.
listening to Glock by Don Tolliver. I don't know who that is, but that was the Funk Box with DJ Mayhem. DJ Mayhem was just in the studio with his show, and here we are with the one, the only
Shreddie Mercury.
Welcome, Shreddie. Thanks for being here.
Just about everybody in the skateboard world knows this cat. He gets around and has a lot of admirers. How you doing, man? It's been a while.
I'm great. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah. It's
Is that not working? It's working.
Is it? Is it coming in?
I don't know. Say something again. It's great. So, repeat it.
Oh, things are going good. Thanks for having me.
Okay. Yeah, we're in. We're just making.
All right. Yeah. I'm trying to remember the history with you. I know we met you at Kona 40, and before that, I think you
45.
45. I think you just reached out to Jay Cavler, and you'd seen our show, our public access TV show or something, and it went from there. So that's how we kind of got to know you.
Yeah, I was trying to think about like how did I see your show on YouTube? I'm not
I
really
don't
sure.
know. Well, because you and I were messaging through Instagram leading up to Kona 45, and
Yeah.
we actually got to meet in person there. But I don't know if it was you
But that
found.
was after seeing your show because I would see
Yeah.
your show and then comment saying like love what you guys are doing, and then like I sent you email like asking for stickers, and then you sent me stickers.
Yeah, that was me. Okay, that was me because that was all through either Instagram messaging or from Gmail or something. Because you
Yeah.
sent me a sticker pack, and then
Mhm.
I passed them out to the boys or whatever.
Yeah.
We traded sticker packs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love your show because it's kind of like Grosso's love story where you're touching on the history of skating and fun stories and all that kind of stuff, which I geek out on. It's
Yeah,
my favorite.
mixed in with idiots.
Gosh, to be
Which-
compared to Grosso's
I know.
love story.
Well, I always thought it was kind of like the View for
The
old
View.
skaters.
Yeah.
Well,
But I learned quickly not to listen with headphones because then like you guys start screaming and I'm like, oh my
oh gosh.
Especially the early days of the TV studio, we never had our audio figured out. It was
Well, we
always
don't have it figured out now, as a matter of fact. I'm gonna have to get the settings on this Zoom and figure that out. So while we do that, we're gonna jump into some more music. It's Friday the 13th here at Radio KCN, and let's play some Screaming Jay Hawkins, and we'll be back with Shreddie Mercury.
So what you been up to, man? Mike Lance actually sent me where you placed ninth in the 2024 Tour to Skateboard thing.
Well, dang man,
Oh,
for the air.
Oh, we will.
I didn't even know I placed ninth. That's funny. Usually what I look at is like my age group, which is like 30 to 40 is I'm 38 now, I'm about to turn 39 in October. So
Baby.
it's so funny because I feel kind of older, but then in the skateboard world, I'm a baby. Like when I did the OG Jam, which is like the old guy skate bowl skate jam in SoCal, I was like the youngest participant for like I was actually 29, about to turn 30, when the organizer Heidi Lemon invited me because she was like, "Hey, Shreddie, I haven't seen you. You're getting all into bowl skating and pools and stuff. We need more participants in the 30s." And I was telling her, I'm not even 30. I'm like about to turn 30. And she's like, "Oh, don't worry about it. It's fine." And so I went for it. And it was really interesting because my generation is like I started skating in the late 90s. And it was all like technical skating. And it was like, are you street? Are you vert kind of thing?
Yeah.
And so like I was almost force fed this kind of ideology where it's like, why would you skate a skate park? Like, why would you want to be like boxed into a little area where they're allowing you to skate? We want to just skate street and get kicked out by security and run from the cops and that kind of thing. So I never looked at ramps. Like I thought ramp skating was like the lamest thing forever until I learned about Dogtown and Z-Boys in high school. Like when that documentary came out, like 2004 or something like that. That changed my life, seeing video of Tony Alva, Jay Adams, And then I moved to California in '07, and I got to meet all these. Like my first job in California was actually with it was called Dark Horse Distribution, which had Grind King, Dogtown, Bronze Age at one point, Von Dutch. So it was trippy, like seeing that documentary and then getting to like work with these people. And then 2014, Jay Adams passed away. Shogo Kubo not too long after, and I kind of just made it a goal to learn bowl skating. And so when I started doing the OG Jam, I learned like all the moves that looked super rad to me that weren't like too hard, like frontside grind, backside grind, 50-50, rock and roll slide. And so with that bag of tricks, like I didn't go into the air at all, but I managed to win the whole 30s division. And actually kind of like not even knowing I won one of the whole thing, like because I went to like every stop, and because of points I ended up winning like one year. I forget what it was. They gave me this huge trophy. um I was at the Yard skate park in Palm Springs, and I see this guy holding like a huge trophy, and I'm like, oh my god, what's up with that trophy? And then it was Don Bostic from World Cup of Skateboarding, and at the time I didn't know much about him. Like now I know that he's like also a slalom legend. But he was like, dude, this is for you. And I was just blown away. But it's because I stacked up all these points from going to like every stop and then killing my division, because I was like kind of like a rare, not rare, but like not an average skater from the 30s, because I got really into like old school bowl skating. And so my type of skating was appealing to like the older guys that were like, wow. Like, have you heard of Mike Hirsch from SoCal Skate Shop?
I've not.
I mean, I know SoCal Skate Shop for sure.
So he's the owner of SoCal Skate Shop, and he was on Veriflex back in the day. And I'll never forget, one day he came by the shop and he was telling me, dude, if you like the way you're skating now, like if you were in the '70s, you'd be like a pro. And I thought that was so funny, because now like the level of skating is so insane. But that style of skating got me like pretty far in this division, because people my age weren't really trying to do rock and roll slides and these kind of variations. They were still trying to kickflip and that kind of thing. But little by little, I'm seeing this kind of transition of like trying to skate forever, and transferring your skate skills to other disciplines and stuff like that. Like I have friends that are in their late 40s, like, oh, I want to skate bowls and stuff, and it's kind of late, but still, like, it's rad that they want to do that.
Absolutely. You are the true definition of all-terrain skateboarder. And that goes like most people, when they say all-terrain, that means, street, half pipe, and maybe park. But there's several other disciplines. As we know, there's slalom, freestyle, and now the big thing is long distance pushing, which I dabble in. I have a setup. I
Get it.
I don't do it much. I'm nowhere near where like Mike Lance and even JD are at, but it's good. It's good exercise. At least you're out there on a skateboard or whatnot.
Yeah.
And our area here, we have just miles and miles and miles of bike trails that are paved with asphalt, so it makes it easy. And most of them are manageable. They're not a whole lot of hills, nothing that's going to kill you too bad.
Yeah.
But where I'm good for about 10 to 15 miles, those guys do 30, 40, 50 miles. And I can't.
Oh, it's crazy. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so funny. Like the older I get, I go like backwards with skating. Like I started with street, then bowl, then downhill, then slalom. Now I'm doing the long distance push. So it's kind of like I'm moving backwards. Like now what I do is like the fundamentals of like just rolling, basically. Like I'm not doing any tricks. I'm just pushing and pumping and turning and stuff.
And man, that's some of the best skateboarding right there, carving through a park. And you're a Lansdowne local, right? You live up there?
Not really. Like I'm 40 minutes from there.
Okay.
So that's close. That's like Baltimore area. I'm closer to DC.
Okay.
I'm in Rockville, which is like kind of near. Like if I go 15 minutes one way, it's DC. 15 minutes the other way, it's like on the way to Virginia. Lansdowne is super rad because it's from the 70s.
Yeah.
I think 76. So like growing up, I would see that park in videos and think, oh, it looks rad, all the graffiti and the waves, but like it never clicked like at the time because kind of like what I was mentioning earlier, I grew up with just straight up street. Like you want to skate stairs, rails, flipping your board. Like it was just almost force fed. Like that's it. And I never thought about park skating at all
I got to
until
skate.
way later.
Yeah, I got to skate Lansdowne one time. It was incredible. It was right after the city of Baltimore took it over. And it was pretty neat because I called the place. It said that they were open from, noon to 6 or something like that. And so I show up at noon and the gates were closed. And so I called the city. I said, y'all go come open them up. I said, I'm all the way here from Tennessee. It's the only chance I'm ever going to get to skate it. And they said, no, we're not going to come open it up till, but he just give me some excuse. And so then I noticed this hole in the fence. And so we all sneaked through the hole and we're in there skating. And I see this white pickup truck pull up. This the Parks Department guy. And I'm like, oh, God, he's going to kick us out. And he said, you the guy from Tennessee? I said, yes. He said, well, you want to sign a waiver and skate legally now? I was like, sure. Okay. I thought that was pretty cool.
That is cool.
And they're still doing the annual bake slalom contest, right?
I have not really planned on doing that this year, just because I'm kind of more busy with my new job. Wait, hold on, I'm getting like a phone call.
Do not disturb.
I don't even know how to do that. Do not disturb thing.
While you're figuring your tech out, you've probably figured out right now that we were in mid conversation when we came back from that song with Shreddie Mercury. Shreddie is known, from what I know, for the color Shreddie blue, and I would like to hear the history. Why the blue helmet? Why the blue shirts? Why the blue boards? The blue shoes?
Okay, so there's the short story and then like the long story. So I don't know what you want.
We got 2 hours, brother.
Okay, so long story is pretty much okay, so I'll sum it up and then kind of like go on a tangent. So the short part of it is the color is my vibe. I'm more calm, like cool, calm,
100%.
cool and collected. Yeah, I'm just like mellow. And so it makes me happy. Like, and my dad, he found like a new house to live in. Like he was like, not too far, and I just moved in with him, and he had a room for me, and he's like, hey, you could stay here if you want. And he's like, you can paint the walls whatever color you want. And I'll never forget, like I painted it like kind of like painter's tape blue, like super bright.
Yeah.
I just painted the walls blue, and that was like my I don't know, happy place. Because I don't know, like my skateboard was like my escape, and then like once they divorced, it was like I was always skating, like just never home.
Yeah.
And so I have that memory of having the blue room, and then it just kind of like went from there. I think like unconsciously I wanted to feel happy, and so I would be like just wearing the color blue. And then it's kind of funny, in California people would ask me if I was gang related, like if I was like a Crip or something.
Yeah.
And so no gang relation with the color blue, but also it's to kind of like simplify things. Like I had heard about someone, like I used to work at 411 Video Magazine, and there was this guy, I'm blanking out on his name right now, but what was his name? He worked with On Video, but I can't think of his name right now. But I had heard that he only wore like white button ups and black pants, and so it was like kind of like his uniform.
Yeah.
And I thought that was so cool, like so different, just kind of like strange, but like in a cool way. So I kind of became like that also, but not as strict. Just kind of wearing like if you look at my closet, it's like all different shades of blue. At one of the OG jams, they said, "Oh, that I got an award for like the most color coordinated skater," and they were asking me like they were asking me how do you do it, and I'm like, well, if you look at my closet, it just set up. Hey, what's up, brother?
Yeah,
what's happening?
JD's running late, but here he
Hey,
is.
D.
All right.
He's the one I gotta watch out if I'm wearing headphones. Like, oh wait, is he...
The man that loves skateboarding more than I do.
Yeah.
That's a statement.
All right. Well, we're going to take a short break, jump into some music. So we have had a curation by Jonathan tonight, and we're starting off with "Don't Worry, Baby" by the Beach Boys. I want to mention that after us is Fear of Music from 6 to 8, and then 8 to 10 is the Funhouse, and the Funhouse is going to be doing a tribute to Brian Wilson with lots of Beach Boy covers and Beach Boy songs. So stay tuned for that for sure.
All right.
We'll be back.
We miss you,
Kickturn
Brian.
Party.
Kickturn Party.
So when we come back,
He was
I want you to tell the story. So when we were at Kona 45, you were doing board slides in the shallow end of the pool, and you gave me the story of skating with El Gato and learning how to do board slides with him. And I was just like, that's the raddest story. Like, you've got to skate with everybody. Like every hero that I've ever had, you've had some personal session with, which is great. I mean, I've skated with a few of them. As a matter of fact, on this day, 5 or 6 years ago, when Jay was still alive, we went to a demo in Atlanta, skated with Olson, Hackett, Duncan, Christian, Steve Stedham, Donnie Griffin, a bunch of guys. And but that story, I still remember you, and you were like, I'm gonna do one, and you did one. You're like, no, that one wasn't good enough. I'm gonna do a better one. I'm gonna do a better one. And you nailed a good 3 or 4 coping block board slide in the shallow end of that pool.
We posted a video of that.
Yeah, I think we did.
Yeah.
Hey,
I will say Kickturn Party has the best green screens.
We're back with Jonathan Moreno, the one and only Shreddie Mercury.
Yeah.
And just a note, keep me in your skater prayers because I got to have my gallbladder removed next Friday. We're going to pre-record next week's show tomorrow morning.
Oh,
So-
okay.
Hopefully.
Yeah, so JD, you weren't here with that
Okay.
discussion. We're meeting here tomorrow morning to pre-record next week.
10, 9.
9 or 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
10
so
probably
this
good.
will be the first episode we've never done live.
Ah,
That's right.
So we've been live since this radio station went on. We've been one or two of us have been able to make every episode that we've
Yeah.
ever done. What's with
There's
this?
some headphone problems.
Yeah,
We
headphones.
want to be able to hear.
Yeah.
Calm down.
Is it
that'd be
Don't worry about
garage session.
Continue with conversation. So you had a question about Kona.
yeah, so I wanted you to tell us the story. First of all, I want you to tell us the story about Kona, how you ended up there and you ended up working there. Because I mean, like I said, you've been all over. You know everybody. You've done a little bit of everything.
We got
and
a party on this.
it's a
show,
super
too.
rad story.
Yeah.
Well, I guess to back it up, I was living in California. Like I grew up in Maryland. I worked at a skate shop, and then it closed down. And then I moved to California. I sold my car, and I just used that money to find a place to live, like through Craigslist. I found this person that was letting someone sleep on their couch for $200 a month. So I just kind of showed up, and I was like, all right, I'm here. And then my first job was at Dogtown as an unpaid intern, which was rad.
Cool.
And then I worked at a bunch of different places, and then didn't make enough money to really kind of make it out there. A lot of awesome experiences, but just like barely making any money. So I ended up moving. So I was going out with this girl who had family in Florida, and she was like, "I'm going to move to Jacksonville, Florida." And then I thought, "Oh, I'll go too." I mean, like, and then I just Googled like things in Jacksonville, like skate-related skate shops or whatever, and then Kona popped up first, and I thought, "Oh, I played that level in the Tony Hawk Pro Skater game." So I thought that place is like epic. It's like, like
It is
for
really
sure.
is.
We'll have to check it out. So I sent an email like right before moving there, and then Martin, the owner, he got back to me and he's like, "Dude, your resume
Uh-oh.
Oh, with
That's all right.
What happened?
We
Still on?
lost your audio.
Okay,
So
there you
keep going. So you got an email from Marty.
Yeah, so I wrote to Kona saying, I'm moving to Jacksonville. I have skateboard retail experience, this and that. And then he wrote back and he was like, "Wow, your resume is amazing. You worked at 4011 Video Magazine. You worked at Grind King, Dogtown. You worked with that Van Skate Park. Different, I've worked at more skate shops than I can remember." So he basically just saw like all of these names and he thought, honestly, we don't have any kind of position like open right now, but we can like make something for you just looking at your resume. And I thought, wow, that's amazing. Like I'm not even like there yet, but like he just
That's how cool Marty is.
yeah, just like welcome me with open arms, just because my attitude is always like, how can I contribute? Like how can I be of service to skateboarding? And so I moved there and it was basically just filling in the blanks like, hey, we got to clean up this area. We got to move this ramp. We got to teach kids how to skate. We got to work on the website. I had video experience. So like whenever people would come in for demos and stuff, like Nike came in once and I got to hang out with Lance Mountain for the first time, videoing him. And so it was just amazing, like being there for one, and then just getting to have all these like awesome experiences, like squeegeeing the park every single day. Never got old, even though it's like kind of torture. But like I just loved it. I'm just like squeegee, clean up the trash. And Martin was just like, dude, awesome.
Who's Lance Mountain?
Oh, this guy.
Just ignore him.
His real name is Robert, actually. Robert Lance Mountain.
So have you guys seen lately where they're redoing the concrete vert ramp?
Yeah, I seen this.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
They're repouring the concrete and the whole story of how it came to be and how the concrete was initially poured and why it's so shitty. Like Marty did a whole little segment on Instagram for it or whatever.
Yeah.
It's great.
That thing's gnarly.
So much history there. It's like a landmark, like Lansdowne for sure. But
Yeah.
so much history there with Ollie, doing his first aerials probably there, and like Ronnie Mullen, Tony Hawk, like Buck Smith, amazing.
Mm-hmm. And that park, yeah, back to the word gnarly, is so gnarly. And if you saw the clip of Jonathan doing the board slide in the pool,
Oh, man.
it's not just any pool.
Oh no, that
is
pool will
the-
break you.
Yeah.
And that's the good pool. The pool that was before
Yeah.
that was terrible.
Yeah.
Mm.
That shallow end is like gnarly. It's like
Yeah.
3 foot with
Straight
3
up.
foot of vert
Yeah,
or something.
straight up.
That's funny because like I really excel in the shallow because of my street roots. So I grew up skating stairs and like jumping off loading docks and things like that. So I'm used to like falling to flat. So the story I told you about where I was learning board slides or rock and roll slides, that actually was with Grosso, not El Gato.
Oh, it was with Grosso. I thought it was with El Gato Eddie Elguera.
I do have a story with El Gato. I went to they like made this like a mini combi pool. I mean, not mini, but it's just smaller in Palm Springs. It's called La Quinta. And El Gato lives in that area. He's like a pastor, and that's like his park right there. I remember showing up one morning, and he was there, Eric Dressen, a few other guys, and I was like, hey, I was like so excited to meet Eddie because I had seen him around, but never really got to talk to him. So like, I just kind of blurted out like, hey, Eddie, I'm Shreddie, and check this out. And he just like looking at me, and oh yeah, also I blurted out like, hey, you ride for S1, I do too, so we're like teammates. And he's just like, who are you? And so I kind of came at it like, so I was so excited. So this is what I did. I told him, check this out. I dropped into the shallow. I did backside carve grind in the shallow, and then back to frontside grind in the other side of the shallow. So like a figure 8.
Yeah,
just in the shallow.
that's super tight.
So I did that frontside grind, boom, like right in his face, because that's where I dropped in, and I could tell. Like I kind of looked at him too. I was like, bam! I just hit it. And I did the rest of my line. Nothing else was like too impressive, like because it's a big pool. And then I just popped on. He was like, "Whoa!" And then I told him like, "I learned that from you." you and Salba, because at pool party, I used to work at the Vans indoor park, and I got to watch a few pool parties and work the event. And that was one thing that really kind of stood out to me, was that that kind of back and forth line where it's like you don't expect it. You're like, oh, he's in the shallow and he's leaving. No, he's back in the shallow. Boom, boom, like that double hit. So like I took it upon myself to learn that. And so I don't know how long it took, but a while. I got to the point where I would drop in and do it. And that's something I would never see anyone do. And they would do it front side to back side. I would do it both ways. So they were like, dang. I even did it one time at a pool party practice. I actually kind of got like kicked out for a second. And like, because I was working. I used to work there, and then like I'd be there all the time. And then I was skating, and then this one of the staff members who didn't know me, he was like, "Hey, bro, you can't be skating right now. It's like strictly pros and this and that." And I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" And he's like, "Yeah, you gotta go." So I'm like moping away, like, "Damn, this freaking sucks." And then I see Hasoi, and I'm like, "Christian, they're saying I can't even hang out. I can't skate." And he's like, "No, hold on." So Christian walks up. The Christian walks over like, home style and doing
as Christian does.
Yeah. The Christian walk, and then he goes over to the staff and he's like, "You see that guy over there? He's with me, so don't worry about it." And
Oh, cool.
So now you're in and you get to keep skating.
Yeah, so I went back and skated, but I just did like one more run because then I felt like this is not the time for me to skate really for pool party practice. But I did my little thing, my shallow figure eight, and this time it was in front of Andy McDonald. And I popped out, and Andy looks at me, and he grabs my board. He's like, "Dude, and your trucks are pretty tight." Like he like touched he was like groping my board. And I'm like, "No, it's medium." But he was just like, so I don't know. I just thought that was interesting. Like Andy McDonald's like X Games medalist, but he was like impressed by that.
Yeah.
So that one, and then the board slide. Those were two things I want to learn: runs or lines like Salba, where it's just like, whoa, how'd you do that? Like, and then long board slides inspired by Grosso and Caballero and Eric Nash and people like that.
Heck yeah.
Steve said.
But yeah, so give us the Grosso story. Everybody loves a good Grosso story.
Oh, okay. I got a few, but because
you got a few, man.
Yeah, I mean, like I lived right next to Huntington Beach, so I would go to the Vans outdoor park like every day. So morning time is like old guy session, but then like in Huntington Beach, like the hotbed of like transition skating, you're gonna see Lance Mountain, Lonnie Hiramoto, Pad Noho, all these guys that are low Christian. Like, so I became like buddies with these people just because I'd be at the park every freaking day. And so such a blessing.
You're cool. You're not a kook.
I mean, I was kind of a kook at first. I actually, with transition skating, I remember like thinking, okay, I really want to get into this, so let me get some pads. And I had like some whatever from like Big Five or something, and I had my pants on. I'd roll up my pants, and I had video where I'm not looking legit, but I had this attitude where I'm like, I just want to learn this. So like, pretty much everyone was cool with me, minus like 2 or 3 of like the hardcore punk dudes. Like I'm not gonna name any names, but they were like hardcore punk dudes, and I mean I don't blame them. I'm like nowhere near punk, so of course they're gonna make look at this guy like practicing knee slides and stuff like that, like on the flat. But okay, so back to Grosso. I saw him do a long ass board slide in the Clover Bowl, which was at Vans Huntington Beach. It had red and blue tile with a roll in. Like this was like my favorite bowl ever. It was so rad because most of it was like kind of shallow. Like it had the shallow, and then the deep end wasn't too deep. It was like 10 feet or something. So it wasn't too gnarly, and the transition was mellow. But I remember Grosso did this line where he goes backside in the shallow, front side in the right pocket, and then off that middle peninsula kind of thing, he did board side from the top all the way around like half of the bowl in the shallow and rolled in. And I thought that looks so cool. Like
It's
that's
the coolest thing ever.
yeah, especially the way he does it, fully decked out, just standing on it. I thought, okay, I need to learn that. And then I met Pat Noho, and he was doing similar long board slides, and that's part of the reason why I have blue grip tape is because of him. He always has blue grip tape. So like literally for 2 years, I was just practicing that board slide until I got to the point where I heard that they were going to tear down that bowl, like they were going to demo it. And then I was kind of like almost like challenging people, let's do like a long board slide challenge. Because I was at the point where I was doing long ones like Grosso. And I was telling people, oh, let's do a board slide challenge, whatever. And then the day comes where it's like this big session. And I got there kind of late. And I see all these pros already skating. And then they see me and they're like, oh, do your board slide, do your board slide. And I was seeing Lance Mountain actually doing board slides in the shallow, and he kept falling down and knee sliding. And then I did one first try super long. And then I felt like, yeah, cool, I did it. But then I looked at Lance and he was like so bummed. Because I basically like showed him up, but I didn't mean to. And I was like, man, I'm feel so crushed because I kind of showed up one of my favorite pros.
Yeah, that's all right. Lance got over it.
But it's because it's shallow. Like that's the thing. That was like my area where I excelled in because I was okay with like going to flat. When these older guys are so used to knee sliding, they're like, "Oh shit!" Like it's like 5 feet to flat, and they're like, "Ugh," like it's hard for them. It's hard on the legs. So like,
Is Pat
that's what
goofy? Is Pat goofy footed?
Pat
Yeah.
I know who's regular, and then
How come his board slides look so weird? I mean, the way he goes into them is like straight.
Because he rides a 44-inch
okay,
skateboard.
because his front leg is almost straight, like when he's board sliding it. His style's really crazy. I love it.
Yeah, I don't know. Like he does them similar to Grosso, where like his back base plate is like rubbing, like roping, like he's all the way decked out.
So it's like his front leg's straight almost, and his back leg's bent more than most people.
Yeah, that's kind of like how I learned it too. And then Grosso told me, "Oh, pineapple style," and I was like, "Oh, okay." Like Doug Saladino, I guess he would kind of move his back leg, kind of. I don't know, but I ended up being like influenced, I think, by that style because that's how mine look also.
Cool.
Yeah, you've got a good one. That's for sure.
Thanks. The one I did, I had at Kona was like a short one because I don't know, that bowl is gnarly and this shallow is like kind of vert.
It meets vert, yeah.
Yeah.
It's 4 feet deep.
But that Clover Bowl in Huntington Beach was amazing. If Caballero would have showed up, he would have done for sure the longest one because he had that thing where he had the street cab era where he can do a long board slide on like a short or like on something not that high and be okay like running it out or something like that. He doesn't have to skate vert. Like sometimes I would invite certain people to a small bowl or a mini ramp or something. They're like, nah, it's too small, because they're used to a lot of transition to knee slides. So they would get more hurt on a mini ramp versus like mega ramp.
Amen.
We've had some mini ramp.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I tore my ACL, was playing around literally on a 4 foot.
Yeah.
3 feet.
3 feet.
Yeah, just literally at the end of the session, dorking off and
But let's
straight
go back
legged,
to skateboarding for now.
I straight legged and tore my ACL. It's just my 3rd ACL tear.
Oh my God. That's like my.
All right, we're gonna play some music.
If you want to support this organization, Knoxville Community Media and Radio KCM, just go to knoxcm.org or radiokcm.com and click the donate button at the top of the page and keep community media alive. You're listening to Kickturn Party on
Kickturn Party
Radio.
Radio.
Yeah.
You got any good wild man stories?
Oh, Wild Man is the punkest dude ever.
Yeah.
He does the snake run fakie. And like The dude doesn't ride switch. The dude rides
I don't
fake.
know Wild Man.
Yeah, he was at Kona 45. He was at 45. I don't think he was at 40. He was
He
at
used to
40.
cut the grass at Kona. He'd just show up, cut the grass, and like just skate for free.
Yeah, you don't remember Wildman? They charged everything, and all of a sudden I'm looking at it, and he's literally going down the snake run
Is
full
he the dude with,
bore.
like the long red hair
Yeah.
and beard?
Yeah,
Okay.
and he was doing it not switch, but fakie. Like there's a difference between skating switch and going fakie.
Yeah.
This guy was going fakie as hard as anybody else.
Down the
Yeah,
snake run? Holy crap.
Yeah.
He's going backwards.
Yeah.
No.
He hit that shit in reverse.
Wow.
I like to skate the snake run backwards, and people are like, "That's damn near impossible." I'm like, "It's not impossible."
You go up it.
Go
Oh,
up the snake
Yeah, oh
run.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I learned that from
I mean, it's
Yeah.
freaking hard, but
Yeah.
it's possible.
I learned that
Yeah.
from Smith.
Yeah.
I saw him do it. I was like,
Then
I was doing
Then
it
you
last
cross
time I
over,
was there.
cross over at the tombstone and go into the
Yeah.
end of the bowl.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's one of my favorite things to do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I do that at Lansdowne. Try to go like up the mountains and stuff like
Heck
that.
yeah.
This one dude looked at me. He's like, "Hey, is that an e-board?" And I told him, "No."
No, man, that's fucking legs, is what that is. When Jay was still alive, we would always talk about, man, we got to do the bank slalom just to go, not necessarily to be in the contest, just to go see it. And
Yeah.
witness it once. And of course, I'm sure if we go up there, we would probably end up entering just to do it. But yeah, because at Kona 40, Jay entered the Kona 40 slalom and was on pace to beat Professor Schmidt. And I think Schmidt at the last run edged him out by like 0.2 of a second.
Yeah.
Wow.
Literally beat Jay by this much.
You know, Schmidt was like in an old Thrasher. I think it was a Kona bank slalom event where he like either won it or was like podium. So that dude's OG with that kind
Oh
of
yeah. So our local shop owner here in town, Brian Beauchesne, Batmite, he rode for Schmidt Sticks all through the 80s and was real close with Paul and would always try out when in the 80s Paul was trying to make foam core boards and all kinds of weird shit in his lab, and Brian always demoed them. And it was so funny because they were super thin and super light and the foam cores would crack. So the board itself would squeak. Like everybody's heard bushing squeak on a truck, but when the actual skateboard squeaks, I always thought that was really funny.
Yeah. The rails used to be wood, I believe, like back in the day. Like
Yeah.
because that's how it started, right? Schmidt Sticks.
Schmidt Sticks, yeah. It was the original rounded Schmidt Stick rails are still, in my opinion, the best rails that have ever been. And I have 2 sets of them.
Nice.
One of them's really worn down from curb sliding and whatnot. The other one's in pretty decent shape. But yeah, Schmidt Sticks were always the best.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And we're back.
Watch Band with Baby Blue on Kickturn Party, another selection by Shreddie Mercury.
And we are, if you're just tuning in, we are on the air with Shreddie Mercury, one of the hippest cats that are out there. And while we were listening to some music, we were getting him to tell us about, we interviewed him at Kona 45 and we did 10 questions like we do with just about everybody we come across that'll do it with us. And one of the questions in that is, what's your worst slam? And so he's like, I broke my wrist at Lansdowne. But then the next day at the Jack's Beats Park, after that interview, and I'll let you tell the story.
All right. So all the locals were like, yeah, check out this park. It's brand new, super sick. So I pad up and I skate the big bowl, skate some other areas. And I thought, okay, that was fun, but it was getting super hot. It was like, peak heat. So I thought that's good. On the way out, they have a street section and they had this bank with a bench in between. So I was thinking, I didn't get any video of me here, so I wanted to get like a little clip. So I hand the phone over to my girlfriend and she's like, all right, fine. I backside carve over the bench. Pretty easy because I had to drop in and I just carve over it. I just thought it looked cool because it resembled like a China Banks kind of thing where it's like a bank.
Totally. I think that's what it was modeled after. And
Yeah.
I'm goofy too, so I know the plight of the front side carve right there.
Yeah, so before leaving, I was like, let me hit it frontside, T-Funk style. No ollie, but I just wanted to cruise it. But from coming frontside, left to right, there was no drop in. So I just ran, jumped to my board, and there's like a rail, so I had to kind of swerve around it and go up. And so I was just struggling for speed. It's not like a hard thing to do, but you need the right amount of speed and pump. So I go up, and there was a kid on the top, and he was looking at me, and he kind of threw me off. Like he saw me. I kind of lost my focus, and I thought, I don't know if I have enough speed, so I'm going to try to grab rail and get low and maybe kind of just tuck and just hope for the best.
Yeah.
At first, I was like, oh, let me just. But for some reason, I wasn't planning on bailing. I don't know why. Like rewatching the video, it's so weird because it's like last second, I just step off the board. I just bail, and I don't even look at my board. Like in my mind, I guess what I was thinking was I'm going to step off and just walk it out, and my board will just trail behind me. But what ended up happening was it's such a big board I was using. It's really heavy. It just kind of like went down and met up with me like right underneath my feet. And so I basically like banana peeled and was like instantly knocked out before. Like all I remember is waking up in the ambulance, people.
You face slammed right there.
Yeah. So what's crazy, how it ended up on Hall of Meat was it just looks like so intense. Like a guy to be wearing helmet, elbow, like knee pads. Like I had all like the best gear on, but then I just went straight to my cheekbone area. All like 100% impact, boom. And you can see my body just kind of go cold, like a dead fish. I was just boom. And someone like immediately said, like screams, "You good?" And I'm like to the ground, and someone said, "You good?" And like obviously not good. Like
Yeah, no response.
they told me I was like having a seizure. I was like foaming at the mouth and stuff like that. Like really bad. So luckily I didn't break any bones. No, I went to the hospital. No brain damage that I know of. CAT scan was fine, but my face swelled up like crazy. It was like that.
Yeah.
I looked kind of crazy. And then I got the video on Hall of Meat, which got all the comments were like, "Oh, pussy, why'd you bail?" This and that. I'm like, dude, I don't even know what happened. Honestly,
Dude, haters.
I just like I should have stayed on. I don't know.
Dude, half the stuff on Hall of Meat I can't even watch. I just keep moving. Like I see it happening, and I'm like, I can't watch that. It's just
what the outcome's going to be.
Yeah.
I don't follow Hall of Meat. I don't look. Yeah, I'm the same. I don't look at any of that kind of stuff because then it makes me not want to skate.
Yeah. I have a memory that comes back to me from time to time it was Kona 40, and I've never been to Kona, and I was horrified of the snake run, and so it took me, a day and a half to get going, and then you and Jay wanted to go down together, and you wanted me to videotape it, and so we did that one.
The follow, yeah.
Yeah. And then I was like, okay, I'm getting used to this. Let's go fast. So then we all go down really fast. And at the very end there, before it spills out, I got way too high. And I was like, I don't know what to do. So I jumped off the board and started running. And the skateboard is rolling beneath, between my legs. If I had stepped on that thing, it would have been
lights out
of me.
Yeah.
I'll sometimes be laying in bed and that'll come back to me. Terrible memory. I don't have a helmet on either, like an idiot.
I always say, man, there's nothing worse than being on a skateboard when you don't want to be on it.
Yeah. That snake run is super epic. Like I remember one time I tried to do it switch, like someone like dared me or something. And I went down, and then once I hit that first bank, I just flew. I just launched. I was like in the air, and then just hit the grass. Luckily, it was grass and just tumbled. But it would have been such a funny video to see someone just like go, and then just woo, he's out of there.
Like the first high bank there. So you would have been doing it front side, or the first low bank?
Maybe the first low one. I think I might have went straight down, hit a backside, and then just launched to the right.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Into the grass. Yeah. But it was so funny. Like immediately got humbled. Like, okay, you should not be doing this. Exit.